Jonah Reyes stepped forward in the Queen's open court, datapad extended. Crystal chimes rang from the vaulted ceilings as courtiers leaned in. He activated the holographic display. Earth's treaty addendum glowed blue. Resource shares, mutual defense pacts, no hidden clauses. Highness, Jonah said, voice steady. Terran Concordance accepts your terms with these amendments. Transparency builds empires. Queen Salith Vey lounged on her throne of woven star silk, her iridescent scales shifting under the light. Immortal eyes, ancient, unblinking, fixed on him. She nodded once. Guards in obsidian armor flanked the dais, tails coiled like springs. Chancellor Uvren Salk glided from the shadows, his robes whispering over the marble floor. He held a slim comm device aloft. A moment, Envoy Reyes. Before we proceed. The court hushed. Salk tapped the device. A voice filled the chamber, Jonah's voice, crisp and urgent. Priority override. Queen compromised. Initiate fallback. Isolate Vey core systems. Human fleet. Stand by for extraction. Gasps rippled through the assembly. Salk's tendrils quivered. Recovered from a ShadowNet relay, Your Majesty. Voice print match. 90 to 8%. The human plot's betrayal. Jonah's pulse quickened, but he kept his stance square. Fabricated. The cadence was off. Too clipped for his drawl. He scanned faces. Archivist Nima Orr fidgeted at her console, eyes darting. Captain Hesh Tao's claws flexed on his sword hilt. Traitor, Hesh growled, striding forward. Seize his comms. 4 guards lunged. Jonah raised empty hands. One yanked his wristcom free. Another stripped his belt recorder. They clamped a restraint field around his ankles. Light, humming energy that buzzed against his skin. Hesh jabbed a talon toward the oath dais. A raised platform, ringed by truth scanners. To the dais. Swear your lies there, mammal. Jonah planted his feet. The field tugged, but he resisted. Not yet, Captain. Chain of custody, audit first. Where was this file found? Who handled it? Original metadata. Show me. Courtiers murmured. Hesh's frills flared. You question procedure? In her court, procedure saves lives. Jonah met the Queen's gaze. Highness, standard Terran protocol. No plea without provenance. Silas' tail flicked, a rare tell. She steepled her claws. Bold. Chancellor, the audit. Salk's scales paled. He accessed his device, projecting a log. Relay bounce from Mima's archive sector. Time-stamped last cycle. No backups listed. Nima shrank behind her station. Planted, Jonah said flatly. Voice synthesis. Check the spectrogram. Harmonic spikes at 2.4 gigahertz. Alien encoder, not human. Hesh snorted. Prove it. Jonah nodded to his confiscated datapad, still open on the treaty. Run it through my verifier. Open source. It'll flag the forgery in seconds. Gods hesitated. Silith waved a claw. Do it. The scan hummed. Red alerts flashed. Synthetic overlay. Origin masked in palace comms. Nima bolted upright. Not me. Chancellor ordered a routine purge. Salk silenced her with a glare. Lies. The human corrupted the files. The Queen rose, her presence filling the chamber like a gravitational pull. Enough. Envoy Reyes, you stand accused of treason against the Vey Dominion. Yet, she tilted her head, replaying the audio snippet. Her voice sharpened. Why does your secret message use a Terran emergency code? Theta 79. Broadcast only in your fleet's direst crises. Explain. Jonah's mind raced. Theta 79. Distress beacon for tracked assets, not invasion. Defensive. Someone knew Terran codes. Deep intel. He chose words carefully, eyes locked on hers. Highness, that's my proof of innocence. No traitor uses our own Essos against us. It's a cry for help. From inside your palace. Her scales rippled intrigue. Hesh gripped his sword tighter. Salk sweated inked. Private interrogation, Silith commanded. Hold him alive. Captain, secure the archivist. Chancellor, full logs, now. Guards hauled Jonah toward a side chamber. Field humming. He twisted for a last look. Nima trembled under Hesh's grasp. Salk's tendrils nodded. As the doors sealed, Jonah's verifier pinged silently in a guard's pouch. One more anomaly. The code embedded a subspace tag. Terran Black Box Protocol. It traced back to Salk's private vault. The real conspiracy cracked open. But the Queen's next question burned in his ears. Loyalty. Human. Prove it lasts beyond the scan. He straightened against the field. Trust wasn't sworn. It was earned, one transparent choice at a time. Hesh shoved him into the interrogation alcove. Shadows cloaked the walls, truth serum emitters glowing faint violet. The captain loomed. Talk, or we peel your mind, layer by layer. Jonah met his stare. Audit first. You'll see. Silith entered alone, dismissing Hesh with a flick. Her immortality showed in the fine scars on her claws. Battles older than Earth's colonies. She activated a privacy field. The air thickened. Speak plain, Rays. She circled him. Theta. 79. Your people use it for lost ships. Why plant it in treason? Not plant it by me. Jonah leaned into the restraint. Calm. By your Chancellor. He's steering policy. Warhawks in the outer rims want Vey expansion. Earth blocks it. Frame me. Ignite conflict. Check his patronage logs. Nima scared because he pressured her. Silith paused, eyes narrowing. Conjecture. Procedure. Jonah nodded to the god's pouch. Verifier has the trace. Pull it, she signaled. The datapad returned. Scan confirmed. Salk's encryption signature woven into the fake audio. The Queen's laugh echoed. Cold. Crystalline. Humans. You document betrayal like inventory. Keeps us alive. Jonah flexed against the fading field. Release Nima. She'll testify under full scan. Hesh burst in, dragging the archivist. Nima collapsed to her knees. He said purge the relays. Then the message appeared. I swear. Salk's voice boomed from the court feed. Denials, bluster. Guards swarmed his dais. Salith deactivated the restraints. Jonah rubbed his wrists. Hesh eyed him. Frills neutral now. Threat model updated. Trust forms in crisis, the Queen said. You chose audit over denial. Transparent. Terran way. Our way. Jonah retrieved his comms. Treaty stands. She extended a claw. Amendments accepted. And this conspiracy, yours to help unravel. Hesh grunted approval. Competent for a soft skin. Jonah shook her claw. Firm, scales cool. Galactic peace hinged on paperwork and proof. Humans excelled there. But, as alarms wailed, Salk fleeing to the docks, Jonah knew the real test waited. Loyalty demanded pursuit. The Queen smiled. Immortal, but learning. Lead the hunt, envoy. Raw recording. Now. Jonah jabbed a finger at the court's central holoscreen. Chains clinked on his wrists as he leaned forward. The chamber hummed with alien murmurs, frilled necks pulsing in suspicion. Archivist Nima froze behind her console. Her tendrils twitched. Envoy Reyes, sealed vaults require Queen's authority. Jonah locked eyes with Salith on her elevated throne. Her scales gleamed under vaulted lights, claws tapping rhythmically. You accuse betrayal. I demand the source file, unedited. Salith's gaze pierced him. Immortal eyes, ancient calculus. She nodded once. Granted. Nima's console whirred. Access denied. Alerts flashed. She stammered. Chancellor Salk's overrides. Override them. Hesh-Tal loomed at Jonah's side. Frills flared. The guard captain's grip tightened on his stun prod. Or joined the soft skin in chains. Nima's tendrils knotted. She punched codes. Vault seals hissed open remotely. A data crystal ejected into her palm. She slotted it into the reader. The holoscreen bloomed with the incriminating clip. Jonah's voice, clear as Starcom's, pledging sabotage to the Immortal Queen's fleet. Planted. Jonah kept his tone flat. Isolated. Hesh grunted. Prove it, human. Jonah nodded to his restrained kit on the evidence table. My recorder. Isolated. No nets. Hand it over. Silith signaled. A guard tossed the device. Jonah caught it, one-handed, chains rattling. He swinged the crystal feed via hard line, bypassing palace comms entirely. Checksum logs scrolled on his wrist display. Logging hashes, block by block. Watch. Hesh leaned in, frills quivering. Nima edged closer, eyes wide. Playback initiated. Jonah's voice filled the chamber. The Queen's defenses fall at dawn. Relay to Salk. Matches your print, Hesh growled. Voice, timbre, cadence. Almost. Jonah paused the feed at 14.7 seconds. He amplified the waveform. A hairline glitch flickered, inaudible to untrained ears. Timing offset. 23 milliseconds early on the dawn syllable. Murmurs swelled. Salith's claws stilled, carrier tone splice. Jonah traced the scene with a stylus. His recorder beeped verification. Source audio. My legit dispatch 3 days prior, spliced over a null tone from Palace relays. Voice print fools your scanners because it's 98% me. But humans audit deeper. He overlaid the originals. The splice line glowed red. Ugly, amateur under scrutiny. Gasps rippled through the court. Nima paled, tendrils retracting. Hesh's frills flattened, neutral, reassessing. How did you spot that? Procedure. Jonah met his gaze. Terrans log everything. Redundancy saves lives. Silith rose. Her voice cut the din. Captain Tau, escort the envoy to my side chamber. No cells. Hesh unchained Jonah with a click. Move. They strode through empty chambers. Hesh's boots thudding beside Jonah's lighter steps. Palace walls whispered with hidden vents. Secrets in the stone. Hesh glanced sidelong. Soft skins lie smooth. You. Audit. Keeps alliances intact. Jonah rubbed his wrists. Your court's built on rationed truth. Ours demands full logs. Hesh snorted. Queen tests. always. You passed. Barely. The side chamber doors parted. Salith waited alone, holographic star maps flickering behind her. No throne, just a low table, data crystals scattered. She gestured Jonah to sit. Hesh posted at the door, arms crossed. Explained the embedded phrase. Salith's claw pointed to the waveform still open on Jonah's recorder. Terran code. Defenses fall at dawn. Not sabotage. What? Jonah sat, calm. He pulled up the audio layers. Beneath the splice, a subcarrier hummed, inaudible, buried. Old courier trick. Amplitude modulation on the carrier wave. Says, ordered Chancellor. Relay purge imminent. Her eyes narrowed. You planted this warning? No. Jonah shook his head. Received it en route. Anonymous bounce from your outer relays. Warned of frame job. I documented. Stayed silent. Waited for proof. Salith circled the table. Scales rasping softly. Transparent choice. No panic broadcast. No denial screams. Denials erode trust. Jonah tapped the logs. Proof builds it. She halted, claws flexing. Chancellor Salk manages my access. Paperwork veils his moves. This confirms suspicions. Hesh shifted. My guards log patrols. He bypassed 3. Alarms blared suddenly. Distant klaxons from the main hall. Silas comms lit up. Nima's voice crackled. Chancellor fleeing. Docks. Salith's laugh echoed. Cold. Crystalline. Humans document betrayal like inventory. Keeps us alive. Jonah stood, flexing against residual stun ache. Release Nima, Silith commanded via link. She testifies under scan. Hesh burst from the chamber ahead, dragging the archivist moments later. Nima collapsed inside. He said, purged the relays. Then the message appeared. I swear. Jonah synced his verifier to the Queen's pad. Scam confirmed. Salk's encryption signature woven into the fake audio. Silith deactivated the chamber's restraint field fully. Jonah rubbed his wrists. Hesh eyed him. Frills neutral. Threat model updated. Trust forms in crisis, the Queen said. You chose audit over denial. Transparent. Terran way. Our way. Jonah retrieved his comms kit fully. Treaty stands. She extended a claw. Amendments accepted. And this conspiracy, yours to help unravel. Hesh grunted approval. Competent. For a soft skin. Jonah shook her claw. Firm, scales cool. Galactic peace hinged on paperwork and proof. Humans excelled there. But as fresh alarms wailed, Salk fleeing to the docks, Jonah knew the real test waited. He checked his sidearm charge. Loaded. Salith smiled. Immortal but learning. Lead the hunt, envoy. Jonah nodded, already plotting pursuit vectors. Palace docks schematics loaded in his mind. Logged, weeks ago. Salk's trail wouldn't vanish in bureaucracy. Hesh fell in step. Your audit gear. Track him. Checksums leave echoes. Jonah patched into relay ghosts. A signature pinged. Salk's shuttle priming. They sprinted corridors. Mima's testimony feeding court feeds behind. Salith's voice boomed galaxy-wide. Betrayer. Exposed. Envoy Reyes commands the capture. Guards parted. Jonah hit the dock airlock. Shuttles hummed. Salk sleek. Engines hot. Blockade protocols! Hesh barked into comms. Fleets mobilized. Jonah jacked his recorder direct. Sulk. Bogs don't lie. Surrender. Static hissed. Then, Sulk's voice. Human fool. Queen's blind to real threats. A deeper code pulsed in the reply. Warning. Jonah logged it instant. Another layer. Hesh primed his rifle. Flush him, net him. Jonah traced the shuttle's weak encryption. I've got his nav lock. Thrusters ignited. Sulk bolted. Jonah fired the trace beacon. Palace interceptors swarmed from bays. Human precision met alien firepower. Sulk's shuttle bucked, caught in tractor grip. Docking clamps seized it. Hesh clapped Jonah's shoulder. First contact. Solid. Your way works. Inside the captured craft, Sulk sprawled, stunned. Data cores ejected into Jonah's hands. Salith arrived via holo. Unravel it all, envoy. Jonah slaughtered the first core. Fresh splices bloomed. Deeper conspiracy. Not just betrayal. Jonah's analyzer whirred as the core decrypted. Holoscreens bloomed with time-stamped logs. Forged Terran signatures routing funds to separatist cells. Queen Salith. Jonah tapped the primary splice. Sulk mirrored my diplomatic codes. He triggered the "that message" phrase himself. A holo image leaned forward, iridescent scales glinting. The love note you claimed was a duress code. Explain again, envoy. My court demands clarity. Jonah pulled up the original intercept. The phrase pulsed red. That message arrived intact. Terran protocol. We embed it in compromised comms. It flags duress without alerting captors. Sulk knew it from my pre-mission briefs. He planted it to paint me as the traitor. Hesh grunted, rifle slung low. Clever. Humans hide warnings in plain words. Sulk stirred on the shuttle deck, wrists bound in mag cuffs. Lies, he rasped. The humans' logs are fakes. Jonah ignored him. He slotted the second core. Fresh vectors lit up shuttle manifests to fringe worlds. Your payments to the Vexari League. They massed ships at the Nebula Verge yesterday. Silith's mandibles clicked. War proxies. Sulk, you rationed truth to ignite my borders? The Chancellor sneered. You hoard eternity, Immortal One. Others deserve the stars. Jonah traced a secondary ping. Not just Vexari. Your own relay techs signed off on these transfers. Name scrolled. 3 vault custodians. Nima Orr among them. Hesh's grip tightened on his weapon. Nima? She fed us the vault logs. Coerced, Jonah said. He fired a tight beam to the palace archives. Archivist Orr. Respond. Static crackled. Then Nima's voice edged with panic. Envoy Reyes. Gods are. A scuffle echoed. Line cut. Salith's hollow vanished. Secure her. Hesh. Escort Reyes. Full access. Hesh hold Sulk upright. Move, traitor. Jonah pocketed the cores. They sprinted dockside. Interceptors peeling off patrol. Palace corridors blurred past. Jonah synced his recorder to wall relays. Nima's comtrail leads to sub-level 7. Service vaults. Hesh barked orders. Squad Delta. Converge. They hit the lift. Alarms wailed soft. Internal breach only. Doors hissed open to dim archive warrens. Data spools humming in chilled air. Nima backed against a terminal, 2 cloaked figures pinning her. Vexari agents. Scaled infiltrators. Blasters drawn. Stand down! Hesh leveled his rifle. the lead agent fired. Jonah dove, analyzer clattering. Hesh's shot vaporized the blaster. Jonah rolled up. Grabbing a fallen stun rod, he jabbed the second agent's neck. It spasmed, collapsing. Nina slumped, trembling. Sulk promised protection, said the Queen Horde's knowledge. Jonah knelt, scanning her implants. Coercion markers. Standard Vexari wetware. You accessed the vault under duress? She nodded, tears streaking. Physical override. Sulk held my clutchmates hostage. Hesh cuffed the agents. Where? Containment wing, Bay 4. Jonah logged the exchange. Queens incoming. Protocol. Full debrief. Sylph materialized in person this time. Throne disk gliding silent. Her gods fanned out. Custodian awe. Truth or oblivion? Nima bowed low. Sulk's patronage bought silence. Then, the codes. I flagged them wrong. Jonah projected the cores. She routed your falsified message through my channel, made it look like betrayal. Sylph's gaze locked on Jonah. You decoded it without demand. Terrans ration trust like we ration secrets. We document, Jonah said. Leaves no room for doubt. Hesh dragged the Vexari forward. Interrogate? Sylph waved. Reyes commands. Jonah patched his analyzer to the agent's neural port. Vexari command ship. Location. Pain-laced code spilled. Shadow drift. 2 jumps forward. Sylph's eyes narrowed. Fleet scale. Full incursion. Sulk's signal triggers in 6 hours. Alarm spiked GalaxyNet. Jonah cross-checked manifests. Border patrols. Rerouted. Sulk's paperwork. Hesh primed his comm. Mobilize interceptors. Not yet. Jonah slotted Mima's vault log. A hidden layer bloomed. Sulk's override to the Queen's private relay. He targeted you directly. Faked a hostage crisis to force your hand. Sylph rose from her throne disk. I test loyalty with crises. You turned mine against the betrayer. Jonah traced the final splice. One more. Palace Inner Circle. The hollow locked on Chancellor Uvrin Sulk. No, a ghost signature. Uvrin's twin brother. Infiltrator. Sulk laughed from his guard's hove. Kale Sulk. My contingency. He's aboard the Vexari flagship. Hesh swore. Blood debt doubles. Jonah fired the trace. I've got his beacon. Weak, but live. Sylph extended a claw-tipped hand. Envoy, bind with us. Your procedures against their shadows. Jonah clasped it, cool, unyielding. Trust sealed in grip. Protocol, accepted. Fleets launched from bays. Jonah's shuttle bucked into void. Hesh at weapons. Mima man scans from Palace Link. Shadow drift closing, she reported. Vexari jamming. Jonah bypassed with core exploits. Sulk's encryption. I've got navlock. Interceptors swarmed. Vexari cruisers loomed, guns hot. Hesh fired disruptors. Shields flared. Jonah hailed the flagship. KL Sulk. Surrender codes. A gravel voice replied. Terran worm. Brother's work ends, Queens. Deeper code pulsed. Sulk family cipher. Jonah decoded mid-fire, his priming core breach. Self-destruct. Hesh banked hard. Tractor it. Jonah locked beams. The flagship bucked, caught. Boarding pods launched. Inside, chaos reigned. Vexari fought bulkhead to bulkhead. Jonah's team cut through, stun rods humming. Kale Salk waited in the bridge, console rigged. You chase echoes. Jonah jacked his analyzer. Logs end here. He yanked the breach trigger. Alarms died. Hesh cuffed him. Queen's justice. Back aboard palace shuttle, Salith waited. Conspiracy unraveled. What remains? Jonah uploaded all cores. Full audit trail. No ghosts left. Nima bowed. My debt to you, envoy. Hesh clapped his shoulder again. Firmer. Human ways stick. Salith's mandibles curved. Rare smile. Terran envoy. Permanent accord. Your duress codes guard my secrets now. Jonah nodded. Mutual logs. A final ping hit his recorder. Off-world relay. That message confirmed. Alliance intact. But the sender ID flickered. Unknown faction. Deep black. Jonah logged it silent. Deeper layers waited. Chancellor Uverin Salk's claw tapped the obsidian table. Emergency session. Envoy Jonah Reyes stands accused of betraying her immortal majesty. Sign this recantation. Admit your Terran deceit. Jonah sat rigid in the vaulted council chamber. Hollow screens flickered with forged logs, his name stamped on leaked palace secrets. The air hummed with vox dampeners, sealing whispers from spies. Queen Salith's throne loomed empty above, her absence a blade's edge. He scanned the document. Standard Salith script. Loyalty oath reversed. Jonah branded a saboteur. Penalty. Erasure from archives. No trial. Just ink. No. Jonah's voice cut clean. He activated his wrist recorder. Red light blinked. Diplomatic immunity under Accord 47. I refuse to sign falsified testimony. Witness statement logging. Now. Chancellor Salk presents coerced recantation at 1472 cycle. Full chain of custody on my core drive. Salk's frills flared purple rage in Valar body language. Immunity shields no worm. Your logs mock our ways. Truth here bends to the Queen. Captain Heshtal shifted at the chamber doors. His armored bulk blocked 2 guards. Antennae twitched toward Jonah. Envoy speaks protocol. Queen decreed it holds. Nima Orr hunched over her data slate, claws clicking evasion. Archives require verification. Salk ignored her. Sign, or guards escort you to Voidlock. Jonah held the recorder steady. Public refusal noted. Transmit to Terran Embassy relay? Hirsch's grip tightened on his stun lance. Enough. Session dissolves. Salk snarled. Captain, rotation order 9. Alpha. Secure the Terran. Hirsch's visor pinged. He froze. Private channel. Guard rotation 9. Alpha. Terminate asset. Silent purge. Kill order. Buried in roster code. Hesh lunged. Grabbed Jonah's arm. Move. Now. Jonah didn't flinch. Service quarters twisted below the palace like veinwork. Dim loom strips cast shadows on riveted walls. Steam vents hissed from coolant lines. Hesh's boots thudded ahead, lance humming low. Kill order? Jonah matched pace. Recorder still active. Hesh grunted. Disguised. Salk seal. Your bait, or target. Go clear. Reach archives. Verify the planted message. Expose the forger. They ducked at junction. Distant chimes echoed. Palace alert. Why help? Jonah asked. H glanced back. You logged truth before. No ego. Vela hide cuts. Humans. Show blades first. Corridors branched. Hesh punched a panel. Door iced open to Nima's archive vault. Data spires loomed, pulsing blue. Nima startled from her console. Captain, envoy, intrusion logs. Quiet. Hesh sealed the door. Salk's purge. You next if you squeak. Jonah jacked his analyzer into the nearest relay node. Planting verification pings. 3 nodes. Primary archive. Secondary comms. Queen's sanctum feed. Nima's eyes widened. Sanctum? Forbidden. Transparent. Audit. Jonah's fingers flew. Code bloomed on his hollow. Ping 1 deployed. Timestamp locked. Any edit triggered alert straight to his core. Ping 2 comms relay. Backup chain. Ping 3. Sanctum node. Riskiest. Queen's private net layered in quantum veils. Why pings? Hesh loomed over the console. Jonah synced the last. Trap. Whoever tampers next lights up. No ghosts. Nima wrung her claws. Sulk controls access. If he... Alarms blared soft. Jonah's wrist buzzed. Relay node 2. Tamper event. Timestamp. 1474. Source trace bounced. Comms. Relay hit. Jonah pulled the log. Edit attempt on my immunity file. Origin masked. Hesh's lance charged. Sulk? Not yet. Jonah cross-referenced. Bounce path through service vents. Close. Nima gasped. My subnode. Someone patched in. Footsteps echoed outside. Muffled Velar voices. Hesh shoved Jonah behind a spire. Hold. Door panel sparked. Hesh fired disruptor burst. 2 guards crumpled, stunned. Clear. He yanked Jonah up. Archives first. Full decode. Jonah nodded. They sprinted to the central spire. He sliced in. The planted message unfolded. Envoy Reyes leaks Queen's duress codes. Execute. Purge. Forged. His signature mimicked. 90% match. But metadata glitch. Embedded Sulk family cipher. Same as the Vexari flagship. Got it. Jonah uploaded to recorder. Planted by Insider. Cipher traces to Chancellor's line. Nima peered over. Proof. Chain complete. Jonah beamed it to Hesh's visor. Witnessed. Hesh grunted approval. Antennae stilled. Trust notch up. Ping 1 silent. But Sanctum node flared. Jonah's holo spiked. Tamper event. Queen Sanctum network. Access Chancellor Uverin Sulk. Edit. Purge all Reyes logs. Sulk. From the Sanctum itself. Hesh's frills spiked black. Traitor. Not just him. Jonah traced deeper. The edit chained to an off-world relay. Sender ID flickered. Unknown faction. Conspiracy phase 2. Queen falls next. Doors bucked. Reinforcements. Queen's throne chamber, Hesh barked. Now. They bolted. Jonah's recorder whirred, logging every step. Service lifts groaned upward. Palace levels blurred past. Guard posts, scriptoriums, veiled halls. Why Sanctum? Jonah asked mid-plunge. Hish's voice hardened. Sulk manages her seals. If he edits there, lift dinged. They spilled into antechamber glow. Royal Guard snapped to alert. Hesh flashed over-eyed. Queen's command. Stand down. Inner doors parted. Queen Salith Vey perched on her throne dais. Mandibles clicked slow. Sulk knelt at her console pedestal, claws withdrawing from a node jack. Her eyes, ancient voids, fixed on Jonah. Envoy. You breach my veil. Jonah bowed, minimal, held up hololog. Majesty. Tamper ping from this node. Chancellor Sulk purging my files. Here's the chain. Sulk rose smooth. Lies. Terran sabotage. Hesh leveled lance. Kill order logged. Rotation 9. Alpha. Your seal. Queen's frills rippled silver. She extended a claw. Show me. Jonah jacked the holodirect to her throne interface. Logs bloomed. Pings. Edits. Ciphers. Transparent. No spin. Sulk hissed. Fabrication. Silence. Queen's voice thrummed. She traced the sanctum edit. Paused. Family cipher. Yours, Chancellor. Sulk lunged for the console. Hesh tackled him midair. Claws scraped armor. Lance hummed. Stoon charge dropped. Sulk twitching. Nema burst in behind. Slate clutched. Majesty. Off-world relay confirms. Sulk's kin in Vexari remnants. Queen's mandibles curved faint. Conspiracy roots deep. Envoy Reyes. Your pings illuminate. Jonah unjacked. Mutual logs, Majesty. Terran way. Hesh holds Sulk up, cuffs snapping. Nodded to Jonah. Solid now. Competence updates models. Guards swarmed. Sulk spat venom. You chase echoes, worm. Deeper layers. Queen silenced him with a gesture. Turned to Jonah. Trust earned. In transparency. You guard my secrets cleaner than kin. Jonah nodded. Alliance log sealed. Her claw touched his recorder. Synced final. But as guards dragged Sulk away, Jonah's wrist pinged private. Sanct Jonah slammed the sanctum hub door wide. Hesh's lance wet the shadows first. A low hum cutting silence. Nema Orr hunched at the central terminal. Her frills quivered. Claws danced across the interface. Jonah's wrist recorder pinged sharp. Live rewrite in progress. Archive nodes shifted. Timestamps bleeding. Queen Salith watched from the doorway. Her silver frills framed unblinking eyes. Motionless. Hesh stiffened. Intruder protocol. Archivist, step back. Nema froze. Her slate clattered to the deck. Captain Tal. Envoy Reyes. This sector's sealed. Jonah strode forward. Ignored the Queen's gaze. Recorder auto-logged every flicker. Duress protocol, Nema Orr. Initiate verification. Her mandibles clicked. No duress. Routine audit. Hesh leveled his lance. Blue Stunfield crackled. Human calls it. Comply or drop. Jonah jacked his recorder into the auxiliary port. Standard Terran chain. Ping. Challenge. Sequence. No ego. Just procedure. Query 1. Log last access before my envoy packet. Voice and biometrics. Nema's claws twitched toward the kill switch. Hesh's lance pressed her neck ridge. She hissed. Rotation 9. Alpha. Chancellor Sulk. Verbal order only. Queen's frills rippled faint. Still silent. Jonah nodded. Query 2. Edit cipher match. Display overlay. Terminal bloomed reluctant. Family glyph twisted through the purge. Sulk's kin mark. Jonah captured it raw. Query 3. Duress Marker. Embed now, or forfeit sanctuary. Nemus Vence wheezed. She slapped her crest plate. Biometric ping synced. Salk ordered the wipe. Said your files threatened the veil. Pressed my clutch det. Token incoming. A data sliver ejected. Jonas snatched it. Plugged direct. Full access flooded his display. Salk's remote session. Live from the outer ring. Hish growled. He's scrubbing now. Lock it down. Jonah hammered the forensic seal. Terminal whined. Nodes freezing mid-shift. Redundant backups spun up, chained immutable. Preserved. No overwrites. Nima slumped. Majesty. She twisted toward the door. Queen Saleth stepped in. Claws clicking deck plates. Hesh snapped to salute. Lance powered down. The Queen circled the terminal slow. Her shadow engulfed Jonah's recorder. Envoy Reyes, you breached Sanctum Law. Foreign Jack without writ. Explain. Jonah, unjacked clean, held the hololog steady. No bow. No flinch. Majesty. Tamper ping from this node. Chancellor Salk purging my diplomatic packet. Chain of evidence here. He projected it crisp. Entry log. Duress sequence. Cipher match. Live session capture. Transparent layers. No spin. Terran standard. Every step logged mutual. Salk's glyph pulse damming in the hollow. Queen's claw extended. Traced the family cipher. Paused. This mark. Chancellor's bloodline. Hesh's Vence hissed approval. He glanced Jonah's way. Threat model shifting. Lance dipping fraction. Door hissed again. Chancellor Uvrin Salk strode in smooth. Frills arched high. Majesty. False flags. Terran sabotage on my audit. Jonah's recorder pinged fresh. Rotation 9. Alpha kill order. Salk's seal glowed authentic. Hish's lance snapped up. Kill order logged. Your mark, Chancellor. Salk's eyes narrowed. Routine call. Human lies. Queen's voice thrummed deep. Silence. She jacked the holo-direct to her throne interface. Feeds sync seamless. Logs expanded. Pings cascading. Edits chaining back to Salk's private relay. Salk lunged for the terminal. Claws outstretched. Hish tackled mid-air. Massive frames crashed. Claws scraped Hish's armor plates. Lance hummed. Stun charge bloomed blue. Salk dropped twitching. Vence seizing. Nima clutched her slate. Burst forward. Majesty. Off-world relay confirms. Salk's kin embedded in Vexari remnants. Packet purge hid their signals. Queen's mandibles curved faint. First, trust, frill, flicker. She turned to Jonah. Envoy, your pings cut the rot clean. Kin obscure. You illuminate. Jonah unjacked final. Mutual logs, Majesty. Terran procedure. No secrets held back. Haish hauled Salk upright. Cuffs snapped neural locks. He nodded Jonah. Solid now. Competence forces updates. Human. Guards swarmed the hub. Armored form sealed exits. Salk spat venom as they dragged him. You chase echoes, worm. Deeper layers coil unseen. Queen silenced him with a claw gesture. Faced Jonah full. Trust forges in transparency. You guard my archives cleaner than bloodkin. Jonah nodded once. Alliance log sealed mutual, Majesty. Her claw brushed his recorder, synced the final chain. Immutable bond. Guards hauled Sulk through the door. Hub vents hummed quiet. Jonah's wrist pinged private. Sanctum sublayer alert. Deeper rewrite in Sulk's outer vault. Queen's frills stilled. She watched him check it. Hesh gripped his lance tighter. Another. Jonah met her gaze. Live. We move? She extended a claw toward the vault access. Lead, envoy. Prove the routes. Jonah jacked the token. Doors hissed open. Shadows waited beyond. But Sulk's parting hiss echoed in the log. Deeper layers. Jonah stepped first. Hesh flanked tight. Queen followed, frills silver curious. The vault terminal glowed active. Another cipher bloomed. Not Sulk's. Vexari royal seal. Nima trailed, slate trembling. Majesty, that's planted. Jonah logged it fast. Bait chain. Sulk framed them to ignite war. Queen's claw pierced the hollow, traced the plant timestamps. My own kill order. Forged. Hesh snarled. Traitor, aimed at you. Jonah overlaid his envoy packet. Original signal clear. Vexary peace offer buried by Sulk. Queen's vents slowed. She swinged her interface full. Human logs bind truth. War averted. Guards reported in. Chancellor secured. Kin network collapsing. Jonah unjacked. Recorder brimmed complete. Hesh clapped his shoulder. Rare contact. Your way works. Blunt. Queen turned. Claw to Jonah's chest plate. Loyalty proven. Transparent. Terran envoy, you hold court access permanent. Jonah bowed minimal. Mutual majesty. But his wrist pinged again. Private relay. From Sulk's cell. Not over. Queen's shadow moves. Deeper still. Jonah silenced it. Shared the log instant. Queen's frills flared battle silver. Hunt it. They moved as one. Human procedure met alien steel. Sanctum lights dimmed to pursuit mode. In the outer vaults, another terminal whispered live. Jonah jacked in. Cipher cracked under Terran sequence. Shadow account bloomed. Queen's own frill print. Forged deeper. Hesh's lance powered. Majesty. She stared the hollow. Claw trembled once. Test passed. My crisis staged. To forge this. Jonah paused aloft. Loyalty trial? Transparent choice wins. Her mandibles clicked. Approval. You chose truth over survival. Nima gasped. Hesh lowered lance, model updated full. Alliance sealed in logs unbreakable. But Jonah's recorder pinged final. Galactic relay incoming. Terran fleet query. Envoy status. He synced reply. Trust earned. War cold. Logs attached. Queen nodded. Forward kin. Hub secured. Conspiracy routes burned clean. Jonah exhaled. Procedure held. Hesh grunted. Humans, update everything. Queen's claw synced last. Galactics learn from this. Lights brightened. Court breathed free. Jonah thrust his wrist gauntlet forward. Majesty, full logs from my courier run. Every timestamp. Every ping. Appoint your auditor, alien eyes only, to validate. Queen Salith's frills quivered violet. Her compound eyes locked on him. No warmth. Just calculation. Chancellor Sulk. Replay the message that damns this Terran. Sulk's claws clicked on his console. The hollow bloomed accusing. Jonah's voice, crisp. Queen betrayed. Duress code Alpha 7. Fleet inbound. Court gasped. Hesh's grip tightened on his lance. Nima shrank behind her data spools. Jonah held steady. No flinch. Envoy. Queen's claw stabbed the air. Your raw capture, now. He jacked in. Gauntlet hummed. Raw feed projected. Static-laced signal from Terran relay. His voice overlaid. Clean. Then the Duress phrase. Same words, but waveform jagged. Side by side flickered live. Jonah synced the overlays. Watched the carrier tone. Lines danced. Official message. Smooth sine wave. Queen's frequay. Pure. Jonah's raw. Spike at 47 hertz. Injected. Alien signature. Salk's personal encrypt pulled from court logs. Gasps sharpened. Hesh leaned in. Tamper trace. Salk's frills bleached white. Lies. Human slight. Jonah tapped pause. Logs don't lie. Auditor next. Queen's mandibles snapped. Nima or. Validate. Archivist Nima scuttled forward. Her stalks trembled as she synced her spool to Jonah's gauntlet. Data flowed. Her eyes widened. Signature match. Chancellor's modulator. Injected post-capture. Core erupted. Whispers like wind through vents. Salk lunged for his belt panel. Thumb slammed. Emergency glyph. Security shutters whirred. Protocol lockdown. Hesh moved fast. Lance pinned Salk's claw mid-air. Traitor signal. Guards swarmed. Cuffs clamped. Salk thrashed. Frills foaming toxin spray. Queen rose. Throne. Hummed authority. Why, Chancellor, my shadow. Salk spat. Your eternity blinds. Humans eroded. I preserved. Silence crushed him. Hush dragged him out. Door sealed. Jonah unjacked. Gauntlet cooled against his skin. Queen turned to him. Frills settled crimson. Curiosity hue. Not innocence. Discipline. Terran, you left the duress phrase open. Raw. Exposed. Why? Court leaned in. Nima froze. Even Hesh glanced back. Jonah met her gaze. Procedure, Majesty. Terran protocol. Full transparency in crises. Hide nothing or trust fractures. I logged it live. Shared on arrival. If forged, waveforms prove it. Her claw traced the hollow residue. You wagered all on logs. No edit, no plea. Discipline holds courts. He tapped his gauntlet. Ego loses wars. Frills flared silver. Approval rare. Disciplined enough to trust? He nodded once. Test me further. She circled him. Claws brushed his chest plate. Contact electric. Salk steered secrets. I ration truth. You flooded cultural gap. Jonah synced a sublog. Terrans build on open audit. Your courts veiled strength in layers. Merge them. Nima edged closer. Logs? Unbreakable? No Terran backdoor? Jonah opened his gauntlet core. Circuits bare. Audit it. All protocols, public relay. She probed. Stalks relaxed. Clean. Quantum sealed. Hesh grunted from the door. Threat model shifts. Human blunt pierces veils. Queen halted. Mandibles clicked thought. Conspiracy roots. Deeper. Jonah pulled Sulk's shadow account. Patronage web. Bribes to 3 aides. War vote primed. Her eyes narrowed. Hunt. Guards fanned out. Jonah jacked into palace net. Terran sequence cracked outer locks. Terminals lit. Transfers exposed. Sulk to rival fleets. Nema cross-checked. Confirmed. Queen's vault untouched. 1 aide bolted. Hish's squad netted him mid-corridor. Queen watched Jonah's gauntlet dance. Your way. Procedure overblade. Blades miss routes. He isolated final ping. Sulks, cell, relay. Private taunt. She snatched it. Played. Not over. Queen's shadow moves. Frill's battle silver. My crisis? Staged? Jonah paused the log. Test passed. Claw trembled once. To forge this. Mandibles clicked approval. Transparent choice wins. Truth over survival. Nema gasped. Hesh lowered lance fully. Model updated. Alliance sealed. Logs unbreakable. Jonah's recorder pinged. Galactic relay. Terran fleet. Envoy status? He synced reply. Trust earned. War code. Logs attached. Queen nodded. Forward to kin. Hube secured. Roots burned. Hesh clapped Jonah's shoulder. Rare grip. Your way works. Blunt. But Jonah's wrist pinged again. Deeper relay. Queen's private band. More trials await. Discipline endures? He silenced it. Shared instant. Frills flared anew. Hunt continues. Sanctum lights dimmed pursuit mode. They moved as one. Jonah jacked. Outer. Vault. Terminal. Cipher cracked. Shadow account bloomed. Frill print hers. Forged deeper. Hesh's lance powered. Majesty? She stared hollow. My design. Full. Jonah exhaled. Procedure held. Court breathed free. Galactic eyes watched. Queen synced last log. Galactics learned Terran steel. Hesh grunted. Update everything. Alliance hummed. War averted. Trust forged in open code. Yet Jonah's gauntlet warmed. Final ping. From Fleet Admiral. Diplomacy upgraded. Welcome home, Reyes. Or stay. Choice loomed. Transparent as ever. Queen's eyes gleamed. Disciplined, he bowed minimal. Your court calls. Frill's crimson deepened. Test eternal. In the vaults, shadows whispered plots unborn. Jonah logged it all. Ready. Hesh flanked him. Humans. Persist. Procedure met steel. Galaxy shifted. Jonah synced final audit. Nema nodded awe. Your logs. Courts now. Queen descended throne. Claw to his plate. Permanent access. Terran envoy. Mutual majesty. Lights brightened. But pings lingered. Deeper webs. He cracked one more. Sulk's confession feed. Queen's test. I failed first. Truth, ration no more. Galactics inbound. Logs led. Jonah stood center. Human hub in alien heart. Trust built. Bleed shop. Fleet query closed. Status green. Protocols shed. Queen's mandibles smiled. Evolve together. Court roared approval. Human way won. Not conquest. Calibration. Yet Jonah's gauntlet blinked red. Intrusion trace. External. Whose shadow now? He jacked in. Hunt eternal. Queen Salith's claw slammed the throne's armrest. The court chamber echoed with the crack. Chancellor Uverin Salk conspired against the crown. Her voice sliced through the hologrids. Frills flared crimson. His forgeries aim to fracture us. Exile him. Confiscate his seals. Salk dropped to his knees. Guards hauled him up. His mandibles clicked in silence. The crowd hissed, relief mixed with shock. No civil war. No purges, just surgical cut. Jonah Reyes stood at the envoy's dais. His gauntlet hummed, logging every ping. Transparent, always. He watched Heshtal grip his lance tighter. The captain's eyes flicked to him, distrust thawing to calculation. Salith's gaze locked on Jonah. Human envoy Reyes exposed the plot. His logs match ours, truth verified. Murmurs rippled. Aliens leaned forward. Humans don't hide data. Extraordinary. Hesh stepped to Jonah's side. You breathe still. Don't waste it. Court dispersed. Protocols held. Jonah synced his gauntlet to the court's nexus. Nima Orr hovered nearby, her frills twitching. Your files. Integrate. Joint standard first. Jonah pulled up the hollow template. Terran encryption plus your quantum stamps. Forgery proof. Dual keys. One human, one Valar. Nima's claws danced over her console. Queen approves trials, but galactic ratification. Negotiate now. Jonah patched in fleet comms. Admiral's face bloomed in hollow. Reyes. Status. Green. Proposing hybrid protocol. Valar quantum weave with Terran blockchain. Prevents deep fakes like Solks. Admiral nodded. Countersign. Send specs. Nima cross-checked. Layers matched. No back doors. Her frills relaxed. It works. Seamless. Hesh grunted from the doorway. Security audit next. My unit. Jonah followed him to the guard barracks. Steel walls hummed with lance charges. Hesh activated a SimGrid. Mixed species team. Humans persist, you say? Prove it. Assign roles by skill. Jonah jacked in. Terrans handle pattern break. Logs, traces. Valar excel close quarters. Quantum sense. Hesh ran the drill. Jonah flagged a sim intruder in seconds. Log anomaly. Valar guards swarmed, lances firing true. Synergy clicked. Done. Hesh slapped Jonah's shoulder, hard. Your liaison, not prisoner. Train them. Jonah nodded. Mutual drills. Weekly. Hesh's mandibles parted. Grudging respect. Update. Threat model. Humans. Calibrate. Queen summons pinged private channel. Jonah entered the vault chamber alone. Biolume walls pulsed soft blue. Salith lounged on her dais, frills half-veiled. You spared me. Jonah bowed minimal. Gauntlet recorded. Open feed. Teach me. Her eyes gleamed. Humans prove truth without fear. How? Protocols. Jonah uploaded his manual. Step by step. Log everything. Verify chains. Share raw. No rationing. She scanned it. Claws tapped. Valar hoard truth. Power in secrets. Terrans build trust. Transparent choices bind tighter. Silith extended a claw. My vow. Permanent envoy status. No trials. In exchange, your manual. Full access. Jonah clasped it. Skin met kitten. Warmth transferred. Mutual. Queen's word logs eternal. Her frills deepened crimson. Rare smile. Disciplined. Stay? Fleet calls. But court links hold. She released. Evolve together. Jonah exited. One task left. He slipped to the archivist wing. Nima waited, console primed. Final message. Embed verification key. Jonah composed. Majesty. Protocols shared. Trust forged. If breach key activates audit trail, only your quantum sense unlocks. Terran steel. Nemo wove it in. Subtle. Court standard. Sent private vault. Jonah's gauntlet cooled. Logs sealed. Public channel lit. Galactic's inbound diplomatic fleet. Alliance hunt. Hesh met him at the shuttle bay. Liaison Reyes. First drill tomorrow. Logged. Jonah boarded, but his gauntlet blinked red. Intrusion trace. External. He jacked in. Trace led off-world. Not sulk. Deeper. Queen's ping. Key active. Hunt with us. Frills unseen but resolve clear. Test eternal. Jonah synced fleet. Diplomacy upgraded. Shadows incoming. Whose web now? Court's heart beat faster. Human hub pulsed. Blades sharpened. He cracked the trace. Alien sig-rival empire. Forgery. Blueprint. Stolen. Ping to Sailith. Alliance first strike. Her reply. Together. Prove it. Jonah gripped controls. Shuttle thrummed. Trust blade sharp. Galaxy watched. In the chamber above, Sailith synced the key. Truth flooded. No more rations. Hesh rallied guards. Mixed unit. Deploy. Nima archived the lot. Ah, in her stance. Jonah's voice echoed court feeds. Protocols hold. Verify all. Aliens nodded. Humans persist. War averted. Deeper war dawned. Red blink steadied. Trace pinned. Fleet inbound. Jonah transmitted. Joint up. Queen's mandibles smiled in hollow. Welcome home. Or stay forever. Choice transparent. He armed Lance Valar issue. Court calls. Alliance roared. Shadows fled light. But one ping lingered. Unknown origin. Reyes, we know your logs. Join us. Hunt eternal. Jonah logged it. Shared. Ready. Steel met chitin. Galaxy shifted. Queen descended to the Nexus. Claw to console. Evolve. Court approved. Human way calibration, not conquest. Yet the unknown ping pulsed. Jonah traced deeper. Rival Queen's seal. Conspiracy gloomed anew. He smiled. Procedure ready. Trust built. War next? No. Proof.